What's up, AtoZSports Live on a Wednesday. I almost forgot what day it was, but it is a Wednesday this week. We're discussing the shakeup around the Titans wide receiver group as multiple injuries occurred on Sunday against those Texans and Xavier Restrepo. Titans fans have been calling for his name for weeks, for months, to be honest, and is this time coming? Xavier Restrepo goes on TikTok, JT, streaming a game. We have the video. Where Xavier Restrepo spilled a little tea about the Titans wide receiver shakeup before this practice week officially gets going today for the Titans as they host the Seattle Seahawks, who are coming off a loss, but were red hot before that. So we'll discuss everything about this Titans wide receiver group and what it'll take for Xavier Restrepo to get an opportunity in a game with his college quarterback from a year ago in Cam Ward. Then we've got some trivia. So hope everybody's having a great start to your Wednesday morning. JT, what's going on? Let's get this thing off and rolling.
What's up, Austin? What's up, A to Z crew? Good to see you guys here. Yeah, it's Wednesday. This week is going by so fast, it seems like, and we're already here to the middle of the week. So I hope your week
think
is
it's going by fast?
I do.
I do not.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right. Well, we made it to the middle of the week, so that's with that. Good to see all of you guys here. More so, just it is a little bit slow because we're talking about Fortnite streams and whatnot, but it leads us to a bigger conversation about Xavier Restrepo and what we think might happen this week with all of the wide receiver injuries that we have right here. But excited to get into this the conversation today. Need a couple things from you guys first. First and foremost, if you're watching on YouTube, like the show, lock in, hit that subscribe button also while you're down there so you don't miss any of the content that we are bringing to you here on the A to Z Sports YouTube channel. You can also, if you're watching on Facebook, hit that like button, like the page as well, and then hit that share button in the bottom right corner. Share the show with a friend. Excited to get going today. And with that, Austin, let's get rolling.
Yep, let's do it officially. Welcome to AtoZSports here live on a Wednesday. I'm Austin Stanley. He's JT Runke. We go live every weekday mornings at 8 Central Time, and we're powered by the BTA Sports app. And you can also hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content. We do tweet out the segments on Twitter, which is working today, which is great development, which is awesome because yesterday Twitter was not working. But we also want you guys to follow us on Google, and I will place that link in the chat right now for you to follow us on Google right there. Google's doing a lot of changes, and you can help us out and help you out if you want to see our A to Z Sports content. When you search for Titans content in Google, you can have us showed up as a preferred source. That's a big deal there. So there's a link to follow us on Google. Got to thank our sponsors. They make it work for us, and they make it happen for you guys as well. Wilson County Hyundai, make them a part of your new car buying process. Go see them in Lebanon or online, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. They're local and online at bartondrury.com. Botero Carts, life is short, buy a golf cart, with 2 locations, Columbia and Gallatin, and Window Nation, 50% off all window styles, and you can get up to 5 years of 0% financing this month at windownation.com. We have a free estimate at windownation.com. So, yes, Darren's correct. YouTube is still not fixed the name tags. That is a YouTube thing. It's happening on other channels. Curtis asks, how was Easton's productivity with Twitter being out? Twitter came back, so Easton didn't do as much as I thought or wanted him to do yesterday. So thank you for the follow-up questions there. So, JT, the situation with the Titans injuries are not good, right? Especially the wide receiver position. So the Titans have put up 13 points, had a 95-yard drive to tie the Texans late in that game. We've talked about that already this week, but they did it with Chigakonkwo playing out of position. They did it with Mason Kinsey playing a lot of snaps on offense. Alec Imander was in and out of the lineup with a hamstring. DK went out with a chest contusion, and Calvin Ridley broke his leg on the Titans' first offensive snap of the game. So it was a rough go on Sunday. A lot of guys dropping like flies at the Titans' pass catching units. And so they make a bunch of moves yesterday. One of the moves was not Xavier Restrepo, but here's Easton's tweet. Speaking of what he was doing yesterday, besides writing articles, it was tweeting. The Titans have made the following roster transactions. Signed the active roster was James Prochet. Signed the practice squad as an exception. I don't know what the exception's for or why, but Lance McCutcheon. Signed the practice squad is Christian Wilkerson, and then Calvin Ridley placed on injured reserve. So 4 transactions made, all about the wide receiver position, and none of them involving practice squad wide receiver Xavier Restrepo. And then I don't know what time this happened. I don't know what. I've never been on Fortnite, never played Fortnite. I don't watch video game streams. But this was posted last night and has since been deleted, right, JT?
Yes.
And the crack staff at AtoZSports was able to sleuth its way to find the video of Xavier Restrepo discussing his upcoming involvement in Titans practice after all of these wide receiver injuries and wide receiver transactions. So we will take it to the TikTok live stream with the Titans practice squad wide receiver.
Oh no, trust me, listen, one thing, really 2 things for sure, is I'm gonna go crazy this week in practice.
On God, cuz.
Yeah, you will. They got you. But he gets like that.
No, he's playing. They got me rotating that outside, inside, all that.
So there's Xavier Restrepo, and we can play that a couple more times because it's not the easiest thing to understand. But JT, your thoughts?
My thoughts are he could use a little bit of help with his movement on Fortnite. But outside of that, listen. Do I think that there is a reasonable chance that he does get the call this week with the injuries that they have? He also drops a little nugget there that like DK is going to be fine. So like,
yeah,
maybe you can, cautiously be optimistic about Chimere DK coming back this week into the lineup. But I think it's fair to say with Calvin Ridley now done for the foreseeable future, with Elikai Manor, not sure if he's going to play. You do not have really anybody that you can trust on the outside right now. Like your outside receivers are going to be James Prochet, Chim DK, and Van Jefferson on the outside this week. If that's how the injury luck shakes out for you, which means that there is some opportunity for Xavier Restrepo to come in this week at practice and compete with guys like Mason Kinsey on the inside for the slot position. Xavier Restrepo also says that he's been moving inside and outside, which once again I think is that is probably the falsest thing the most false thing he said in his quotes right there is that they've got him working inside and outside. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty confident that the Tennessee Titans are not trying to use their 5'8", 180 and change pound receiver on the outside like that. But I think there's a real shot that he does get a chance this week, and he is a guy who, when the opportunity presents itself, gives 100%. Like he says, I'm not going to question that he's going to go crazy in practice this week.
Yeah.
Try to make as much of a move to get onto the roster as possible, because I think this is also a question of, are the wide receivers that may be better than him or above him on the roster right now really executing what they need to execute? Like, they could be better, more talented over Xavier Restrepo, things like that. But I come back to this idea that there still is, and it is a very hotly contested issue right now on Twitter about the Mason Kinsey catch. I think the Xavier Restrepo of it all is that would Xavier Restrepo know how to run these routes a little better if for Cam Ward?
Yeah, so the situation of the play where Cam rolled out to the right and McKenzie was running downfield outside, I guess between the numbers and the sideline, and you saw Kinsey with his head turned inside. The throw goes to the outside. Kinsey has to awkwardly spin, and it's incomplete, which could have easily been a touchdown for the Titans to start the second half of that game. Would Restrepo have done that better, right? Because Kinsey was the first time Kinsey had run that route. That probably would have been either Calvin Ridley or Chim Dike. And so he had seen, Kinsey had seen that route in practice all the time, but, unless you run it, what do you know? So is Restrepo running that route? Is Restrepo a better mental reps guy than Mason Kinsey? These are things that I have no freaking clue, right? Like, would Restrepo be fast enough? Because Mason Kinsey is way faster than Xavier Restrepo. So would Restrepo be able to make that play? I don't know. And so here is, let's go ahead and play this video again because JT, you hit on it, and we'll kind of break it down a little bit because it's harder to hear. But Xavier Restrepo is spilling the tea on some Titans wide receiver shakeups with this week of practice ahead today. This was on the TikTok stream of Fortnite for Xavier Restrepo last night.
Oh no, trust me, listen, one thing, really two things for sure, is I'm gonna go crazy this week in practice.
On God, cuz.
Yeah, you will. If they got you spot, when he gets out, like that.
No, he's playing. They got me rotating that outside, inside, all that.
So there, right before he says he's playing, get me playing inside and outside, rotating inside, outside, he says, no, he's playing, because the other voice that might be harder to hear is saying something about DK getting hit. DK got hit, and he goes, no, he's playing. So Chim DK is playing, according to Xavier Restrepo. Xavier Restrepo is going to rotate inside and outside during practice this week. And we'll see what that comes up. So, JT, let's go ahead and have our first question of the day. Do you buy or sell what Xavier Restrepo is saying to be true? Do you buy or sell what Xavier Restrepo is saying to be true? Because here you are having an NFL practice squad player on a TikTok stream of a video game on a Tuesday night in the middle of November, discussing injuries, discussing practice roles, discussing situations with the team for many, many people to see in a now deleted live stream. So do you buy or sell what Xavier Restrepo is saying about the Titans wide receivers to be true? We will get to all of your reactions, and I will put up a YouTube poll. But JT, it is time to tell everybody about our friends at Botero Carts.
Yeah, Botero Carts, life is short. You got to buy a golf cart. And when you do, you got to do it with our friends over at Botero Carts. And it makes it so easy to get that coveted golf cart that we all need in our lives. 0% financing for 36 months with carts starting at just $6,700. They're open 7 days a week with a full service sale and rental dealership that is locally owned and operated here in the Middle Tennessee area. 2 locations to serve you, one in Gallatin and their newest location in Columbia, Tennessee. They have no dealer fees, no credit card fees, so no hidden fees when you get your new shiny golf cart, and it is shiny and new because they are all stored indoors out of the weather and the elements for your satisfaction and convenience. And there is also a no credit needed option if you want to take that route when you buy your golf cart, because life is short and you got to do it with our friends at Botero Carts.
Also, BTA Sports, you can download the app. The link is in the Facebook title, the YouTube description. There's 2 different codes that you can use for AtoZ Sports and BTA Sports in our partnership together. You get a 14-day free trial regardless. If you want a weekly subscription and just dip your toe in there, you can do that with code ATOZ14, 14-day free trial before a $9.99 weekly subscription. Or if you want to go the whole 12 months, which I think is the best deal, like it is unbeatable on this because it's a 12-month subscription for $79 using the code AtoZSports, with BTA Sports making you a better sports bettor with real data, real great projections and models that I and JT and Easton have all been benefactors of this NFL season. So the question, do you buy or sell what Xavier Restrepo is saying about the Titans wide receivers to be true? Which is the fact that Chimdike is going to play and that the Titans have him rotating in and out of inside, outside wide receiver positions at practice this week as they've made so many moves because they've had so many injuries at wide receiver. So, JT, I'll let you start with the chat. Buy or sell what Xavier Restrepo is saying about the Titans wide receivers to be true. What are you saying?
Yeah, a lot of good comments here, but some super chats on this as well. King VC, first of all, says, it's been a long time, team. Lock in, like the show. Your reminder to please like the show. Yep. Get that like count up, at least on our side here on the Facebook. I can see that we only got about half the likes in terms of viewers. Get that like button.
We need way more likes.
We need way more likes on that one. So do what King VC says. Lock in, like the show there. Appreciate you there. Amnesia says, coaching staff not using Cam's number one receiver last year shows it's not about Cam's development at 1-6, or I'm assuming he means 1-9. And Cam struggling. Oh, sorry. At 1-6 and Cam struggling, X should have been on the field as a confidence boost for Cam. Cam needs a catcher. Once again,
leave that comment there because we can come back to that.
Okay. And then Elk says maybe he means he's going to go crazy on Fortnite because he's not doing anything in a game. He couldn't do anything against third stringers in the preseason. We'll get to what it means for the matchup here in a second, but we're getting a lot of sells in the chat. We start off Jack saying sell. Jason says sell. Titans Kyle says buy. Darren says he's selling hard. Anthony says it's a big sell, fire sale there. Vanessa just doesn't care. We appreciate you telling us you don't care there, Vanessa. Sell, hard sell. Darius says buy, but might sell because he'll get in trouble for it. Sell now. He said too much. So because he said this, it won't happen now. Orlando said, buy until Mike McDummy makes him look like a liar by not calling him up. Jeff says sell.
That's a new nickname for Mike McCoy. Mike
McDummy. That's a good one.
I don't know which is more disrespectful, Mike McCoward or Mike McDummy.
That's a good. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think on that one. Nick says sell, as he points out here. Cam Ward's Fortnite discussion didn't pan out too well either, which was the top 5 wide receivers and top 5 head coaches. Which,
to be fair, Cam Ward was joking.
Yes,
he was doing a full-on bit, and it just was delivered so stoically that nobody understood it until it took a few times.
Yeah. Scott says yes, because it was deleted, of course. Corey says bye. He's in the mix more than us, and it was a casual conversation. Bye. So, maybe a little bit more mix here than I thought.
Yeah.
But Joshua says sell. The phrase he's playing probably meant that his associate is being silly, and it's not taken literally. So
no, I don't think that at all. And calling somebody on another stream his associate is hilarious as well. No, I think he was serious because he was responding to the other voice on the stream who was talking about, you could hear a DK twice. And then he said, no, he's playing. And then they got me rotating inside and outside. So my context clues are putting that together. Chimdike is the Titans starting slot receiver. Xavier Restrepo has been a slot-only receiver for the Tennessee Titans ever since he was signed as a UDFA out of Miami, where he was Cam Ward's number 1 volume and target this past year in their college careers. So my context clues is Chimdike, he's going to play, and then Restrepo follows up with, they got me rotating inside and outside. So it's because they need help all over the place, and I'm going to be doing it. That is my putting it together. So JT, you read a lot of comments. I have the YouTube poll going. So it's only 4 minutes old. So we'll give that a few more minutes before I read the first data split on the YouTube poll. Buy or sell? I'll toss it to you. Buy or sell what Xavier Restrepo is saying about the Titans wide receivers this week to be true. What are you thinking here?
I'm selling it. I'm going to sell it until I am wrong and they prove me wrong. You go back to some of the moves they make, and we can bring this graphic back up. The moves they made yesterday, in which they signed James Prochet, which to me says that when one person goes down, the next person's up, and that next person is James Prochet. So now Xavier Restrepo, in terms of injuries and letting Tyler Lockett go, went from wide receiver 9 on this team to wide receiver 8. And then now with Calvin Ridley, he goes from wide receiver 8 to wide receiver 7. Now, will he be elevated on game day because of some of these other injuries if Alec Manor does not play? I don't know. It's going to be interesting because that's the big thing, right? It really is. Does he show enough in practice this week to take a Mason Kinsey spot? Because the Titans, it's not going to. It's not one play is not going to take Mason Kinsey's job away from him. And you also look at the game that they're playing, the matchup. As much as I want people to finally just get exposure to Xavier Restrepo here, so that we can finally get an answer and move on with our lives. Going up against the Seahawks would do him no favors at all. Against this defense, and look, maybe you get him out there and he catches 2 balls for like 8 yards or something, and you guys are happy about that. And I think that would be all good and well for you all, but I don't think people continue to talk about this idea that he, the connection is going to be there. He could catch the ball, right? But you do need to create some separation, and you need to, actually be able to get to the route fast enough for, especially in this offense where Cam Ward has little time to throw. You need him to get to his spot in order to make those catches. And so I don't know. It would take a really, really good week of practice. I think it also would take Chimere Dike not playing this week for him to be up there. But you look at what they have. You look at the wide receivers that they're going to have this week. Let's assume that Chimere Dike is out there. I assume that Alec Manor isn't. You're looking at Chim Dike, Alec Manor, Mason Kinsey, James Prochet, and maybe one other. And maybe that is Mason or Xavier Restrepo this week. And so, but if Alec Manor does come back, that complicates things even more. So it's going to still take some injuries for me to believe that, these injury guys to be out for me to believe that he's going to be up.
So the wide receivers in the active roster are, we left out Van Jefferson, who continues to just get overlooked.
Did I not say Van Jefferson? I'm sorry.
I don't think you did.
Okay.
But so it is Van Jefferson, Alec Manor, Chim Dike, James Prochet, Mason Kinsey. It's just 5. Because of the injuries, Bryce Oliver goes on injured reserve. Now Calvin Ridley's on IR. So you're losing a lot of guys pretty quickly here. And Alec and Chim are banged up. I did want to go to a comment here just to clear things up because if I can try to scroll back up, sorry. I thought I favored it, but I guess it didn't. So I got to hit it faster. But Nick said earlier, dang it. Where did it go?
You want to look at, if you want to find that, I have a comment that I can address.
Okay,
Anthony says, sorry, JT, but nobody on this team has given me a reason to believe their evaluation of him. I don't expect him to be good, but I want to see it. Nobody else is giving me anything. You can take it up with the other 31 teams in the league that, other teams have a lot of wide receiver injuries. They certainly, if Xavier Restrepo is going to be a starting caliber wide receiver, like many people want him to be and believe him to be, he certainly has not been picked up by any other team while being on the practice squad. And certainly, I do think that we've seen many wide receivers over the years be elevated above Mason Kinsey. In the fact that it's Mason Kinsey now, this time, who needs to be elevated over him, I think says a lot, because Mason Kinsey has always been kind of that last man in, you know?
Well, Kinsey's on the active roster. Like, that's the thing. He's one of the 5 on the roster. Now, he's not a practice squad guy who is up for a weekend and goes back down. No, they've got 2 of their 5 receivers have been on the practice squad the majority of the season, and now they have to be on the active roster.
And so that's my point here. Nobody on this team has given me a reason to believe their evaluation of him, right? Mason Kinsey comes in only when you're that desperate. And the fact that Mason Kinsey's now on the active roster should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, I found the comment. Nick says, DK's concussion looks really bad. I'm not sure he plays this week. Well, the concussion's not the problem. He was evaluated for a concussion, just to clear these up, because there were multiple things that happened. DK was evaluated for concussion, and he is not in the concussion protocol. The injury of concern here is the chest contusion. And so that is what Restrepo was said during the stream last night on his Fortnite game match, whatever the hell it's called, is that DK is going to play, and that Restrepo has been working and will be working this week inside and outside rotating through. So my opinion on this, I do buy it. I do think that what Xavier Restrepo is saying on this Twitch stream is true. That's the Titans' plan. I think Chim DK is trending towards playing, and who knows? A chest contusion, to me, and again, I'm speaking out of turn here, but what I would assume a chest contusion to be is not a can you do it type injury. It's a can you get through it type of injury, not a with an ankle or, like, example, JC Latham's hip. JC Latham's hip was not a pain tolerance injury. That was a I can't physically do it injury. A chest contusion is I can probably physically do it, but it's going to hurt like hell.
When he gets blown up by Ernest Jones this week, he's going to experience a level of pain no one else has ever felt in their life.
I don't know how many different Toradol shots are going to be able to get Chim DK through that, but it is going to hurt like hell. But he can, and again, twisting, turning, reaching for a ball, whatever that looks like, I'm sure that creates pain too, and limitations of range of motion, maybe, I don't know. But it's going to hurt like hell. And I'm sure Chim DK will be able to work through it. The benefit of having players who are in their early 20s is that they heal faster than people that are in their 30s. So that's why Kevin Zeitler continues to get days of rest after the bye week, because he is 35 years old and needs it after the bye week. Chim DK hopefully can be quickly back here and playing. So I do buy it. And this brings up another situation I want to get to as well, about this situation, about what Xavier Restrepo did. And that's what I want to get to next. But first, JT, tell us all about the Bone and Joint Institute.
The Bone and Joint Institute. If you have a chest contusion in your life and need it checked out, you got to check it out with our friends at the Bone and Joint Institute, which is the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedics and sports medicine. Don't fumble on your recovery, any recovery, but especially if you have a chest contusion there. When you ever get hurt in life, you have to know who to trust. And that's why we here at A to Z trust the Bone and Joint Institute, which is located in Franklin, right off of I-65, with over a dozen specialists who can help you through any type of injury. They have a state-of-the-art rehab facility on campus to help your recovery, and they can do everything under one roof for your convenience, whether that's the clinic, testing, imaging, surgery, rehab. They have it all there and can do all of that for you right there. To schedule an appointment there or at one of their satellite locations, go to boneandjointtn.org.
PTA Sports is better for better. I've talked about the promo code you can use. Click on the link in the show description, the Facebook title. You've got that right there to give you a 14-day free trial, regardless of which subscription you use. ATOZ 14 for the weekly subscription. or AtoZSports for the 12-month subscription to be a better sports bettor. I just get an email from BTA Sports. They get their week 12 numbers out there, and they're experts, so you get a part of that too, just to have extra data spoon-fed to your email inbox to make you a better and smarter sports bettor with BTA Sports, better for bettors right there. So I'm going to play this video again, and I'm going to go into the bigger part of the issue here, and then we'll update the YouTube poll about what the audience said buy or sell about Xavier Restrepo's comments here.
Oh no, trust me. Listen, one thing, really two things for sure is I'm gonna go crazy this week in practice.
On God, cuz.
Yeah, you will. If they got you when he gets out, like that.
No, he's playing. They got me rotating that outside, inside, all that.
He's gonna go crazy in practice
too. He's got one of the original skins too. So Xavier Restrepo.
What?
None of that made any sense to you.
Yeah, like here's my overall. This is the stupidest stuff. It's like I guarantee you the Tennessee Titans are so pissed at all of this because now, like, what is a big part of Shedeur Sanders falling to the 5th round? Is because nobody wants their third string anything being this big of a clown show. Xavier Restrepo is a practice squad wide receiver. He ran a 4.8 something 40-yard dash. He is undersized. He is a hard worker, a grinder, and I don't doubt him in that area. But what the hell are you even thinking? Talking on a live stream for a video game, giving away injury updates, what you're doing in practice, like that's so unprofessional. It's so stupid. There's a reason why this is a deleted video. There's a reason why our crack staff at AtoZSports had to go search and sleuth through the internet to find it. And we found it because guess what? The internet doesn't forget. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. This is why football teams hate distractions. And Xavier Restrepo has always been a distraction. It's been a nonsense side conversation ever since Cam Ward was going to be the number 1 pick. Before Cam Ward was selected, Xavier Restrepo entered the chat and in the Titans sidecar circus. And it's still not going away. And now he's adding to it because he's on a TikTok stream of Fortnite talking about Jim DK's injury and him and his role in practice. It's so dumb. It's just as dumb as J.C. Latham giving away his injury situation on a Wednesday or a Thursday in the week. It's so dumb. Why are people doing this?
I don't know. Because it's good content for us.
No, I thank you, Xavier Restrepo, because we would be talking about something way less interesting because, look, the audience wants to talk about Xavier Restrepo. Social media is calling for Xavier Restrepo here and there and all this. But, like, come on, man. Like, and Esco, here you go. Here you go. I wouldn't say that X is nowhere near the Shedeur level on that. Of course not. But that's not, you're missing the point, Esco. It's distraction. Yes, there are levels of distraction, but labeled distraction is a bad thing. And Xavier Restrepo, in my opinion, is labeled distraction.
Yeah, listen. It certainly is not what you need on this 1-9 football team either. It doesn't help a lot of things. Like, oh no, Xavier Restrepo made our 1-9 team look bad. It is a distraction. It certainly also it just creates unnecessary narratives that were already there. Yeah, and that is the big problem.
Restrepo has been a circus. Come on, man. He's been much of a circus as Mason Kinsey every damn year until the stupid video. He personally hasn't done anything. No, again, he has not done anything. It is the conversation, the sidecar circus that is Xavier Restrepo discourse. It's not him. That's why I said I don't doubt him with his work ethic, his grind, his commitment level, all of that stuff, what he does for Cam. I'm not discrediting any of that or who he is as a person. But there's a reason why he is labeled a distraction, not his fault. It's because of the fan base's fault. That's it. And so it's a constant just poking in the side of all these things.
Yeah. Fans want it. Fans want to see that Miami connection that got them to what? The ACC championship game and lost?
No, they got them to losing a 21-point lead against Syracuse in the last game of the season to miss the college football playoff. Now, that was the defense's fault, not necessarily the offense's, but still.
Yeah, listen, we can get to our second question here about here in a second. But like I sort of have a take, because as much as what Xavier Restrepo said is like all fine and good, that could be how he is. Is this really the week to do it? I'm not sure, because I think the overarching take for me is that if you're going to elevate Xavier Restrepo, you just do it. Like you might as well just sign him to the active roster, because putting him up here for him to get maybe 2 targets in this game, because once again, I think the matchup for him this week against the Seattle Seahawks is like nuclear bomb versus coughing baby. And the Seahawks middle linebacker group and safety group is the nuclear bomb, and Xavier Restrepo's the coughing baby here. This is still a coaching staff that is trying to win games. We talk about them trying to search for their next job and build their resume. Certainly winning games and showing what they can do to try to help win games is still of importance for this coaching staff. And so they're going to continue to try to find ways to win games and help these players win games. Is elevating Xavier Restrepo just because they need a body, is that going to win them games here? I don't know. And so if you elevate Xavier Restrepo this week, all I'm asking is that if you do it, you do it for good, or you do it for a multitude of weeks.
But for what though? So we're ready to get that in a second. I want to get to a couple of the comments. Yeah, Bajan says the only I am labeling him a distraction. Well, yeah, I'm the only one who said it, but has he not been a distraction or just a side nonsense of ongoing stupid conversations on social media the entire time? Like going back to freaking rookie minicamp of the first week of May. Like, it's Mother's Day this past year, and people were talking about if Xavier Restrepo is going to make the freaking Titans team or not, and how much he's going to help Cam and all this kind of stuff. And it has been an ongoing nonsensical conversation for months. And the Titans are down so bad at wide receiver that James Prochet and Mason Kinsey are on the active roster. And they need more bodies. So signing the 2 guys to the practice squad is because they just need more bodies. Because we don't even know. There's 5 receivers on the active roster, plus Xavier Restrepo is still on practice squad. 2 of those 6 are banged up. So now you got 4. So now you sign 2 other guys because you need 6 receivers to get through the week of practice. I have no doubt that Xavier Restrepo is going to go crazy in practice this week. Why? Because Elikai Manor and Tim DK are resting, so they can play on Sunday. So somebody else is going to get those reps in practice, and that's Xavier Restrepo, right? Which is fine. That's one step forward for him to get more work in practice.
Yeah, I think he's going to get more work in practice this week. I think he also is going to continue to do what he's been doing. And the one way that he is helping this team, contributing, I guess you could say, is that he essentially is he's essentially their wide receiver 1 mock for the defense. Like, he plays that opposing wide receiver 1 in practice a lot for other teams when they're game planning and stuff.
Because he's going to give you a good look.
Yes.
Because that's his game. Wednesday and Thursday are Xavier Restrepo's game days. He's going all out. Nobody else is going all out. Why? Because they have a game on Sunday. That's the point.
Yes. And so that's why I also continue to sell this, right? Because I'm selling it because we are sitting here saying that Xavier Restrepo is still going to be doing what he needs to do. And once again, it's only going to happen if DK and Iomanor both don't play. So, in my opinion.
All right. So the YouTube poll had 61% buying. 61% buying what he's saying is to be true. About DK is going to play and Xavier Restrepo is working inside and outside of practice, which I think the Titans are probably so pissed at this entire thing. Like, quit doing stuff and saying things publicly that you should not be saying publicly. So let's throw this question out there. JT, you've kind of hinted at your answer, but what will it take for the Titans to give Xavier Restrepo an in-game opportunity with Cam Ward? What will it take for the Titans to give Xavier Restrepo an in-game opportunity with Cam Ward? Real quick, while you guys answer that, I will tell you about our friends at the Barton Drury Insurance Group. Customized solutions for all of your insurance needs, bartondrury.com. That is where to go. 615-806-1265 is their phone number. Everybody needs insurance, right? You need, whether it's health coverage, your rental, your home, your auto insurance. They can take care of all of that for you. An umbrella policy to take care of the extra things, or if you need some 401k planning, because your financial future is always an important priority to look at. But it's open enrollment season, which means there's opportunity to switch, opportunity to gain better coverage, or to gain money back in your wallet. And the Barton Drury Insurance Group is at your disposal to help that out. They have a fantastic team. You can reach them via email, phone, Zoom, whatever it is. BartonDrury.com is a website to get started. Again, BartonDrury.com.
Yeah, also shout out our friends at BTA Sports. Like Austin said, the deal of all deals when you sign up for BTA Sports is to use code ATOZSports when you download the app and get the full season pass. That's 1 year for $79.99, just one-time price for the year. That gets you the rest of this season and the playoffs. It gets you next season. So up until the 19th of November of 2026. So that's 10 weeks next year as well, all for $79.99. Plus, you get grandfathered into all of the amazing changes and updates and features that they are continuing to bring to make the app even better than it already was. It's such a great deal. You got to use them if you are a sports bettor like myself, like Easton, like Austin, and trying to make a little bit of money this football season. BTA, better for bettors.
All right, so I tossed it in the chat. What will it take for the Titans to give Xavier Restrepo an in-game opportunity with Cam Ward this season? What are you seeing from the chat, JT?
Seen a lot of different things. Curtis says one that I think is realistic, which says a Kinsey injury for him. Dax,
which we're not hoping happens, obviously.
Yes,
we don't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah. We're saying that's what it would take potentially. Dax maybe is saying an unrealistic one, saying an act of God, which I think is very funny. Darren says 4 more wide receiver injuries, so a lot more depth being kind of used up there. Eric says every single player getting injured. Jack says Cam literally begging plus a heroic week of practice. Cam Ward is not begging for Xavier Restrepo to be on the field. Like, Cam Ward's got more things to worry about than just saying, if you get Xavier Restrepo on the field, everything's going to change. But I get where you're coming from there. Let's see what else. Daniel Caribbean says it would take the apocalypse for Xavier Restrepo here to on the team this week. Rooney says Mason Kinsey injury, X would play. Injury or someone else needing a breather. Titans fan says nothing. They have no other choice. X gonna give it to him there. So let's see if they do it this week. It seems like a lot of the answers here are the fact of, like, you need, if everyone else cannot play, that's when you get Xavier Restrepo up.
So there's 7 games left, right?
Yes.
I also think the last couple of weeks of the season, when it is truly about losing, but also trying to see what you got, right? Like, the Titans are ironically not yet eliminated from the playoffs.
There's still a chance.
They might be mathematically eliminated after this week. Maybe. I think once you get to 10 losses, that's probably going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Especially 10 losses before Thanksgiving. So I think it'll take full playoff elimination plus a couple weeks for Xavier Restrepo to get on the team, to get in the game.
Yeah,
because it is you are not like the whole tanking conversation. It is not you are out there trying to lose in the game. Tanking is playing players who are not very good and having them do their best against better players who are also doing their best.
yes.
That is how you tank. But at the same time, you're like, okay, the season's over, right? Let's see what Xavier Restrepo can do. And now you can let him go out there and you learn something for the future. Or you learn, one way or the other, whether he can do it or he can't do it. So I don't think it's going to happen until it's not happening this week. I just don't think it's going to happen this week. I don't think he will get called up. Because another thing that I guess I asked you, call up for what? What's he going to do? Because
right. If we get 2 receptions on 2 or 3 targets for 13 yards, is that going to...
That's even assuming he gets offensive snaps.
True.
Right? That's what I'm at. It's if you call him up, you're calling him up for offensive snaps, but there's so many dominoes to these injuries of if DK can't go, it's the return game. Okay, if Elliott can't go, now Van, who has gunner time and experience, now can't do gunner on punt team because he's playing way more wide receiver snaps. So now you need somebody else to be the gunner. I guarantee it. There is one of these no-name cornerbacks that we've never heard of who will get gunners reps way before Xavier Restrepo does.
Yes.
And so what is his role going to be? You get 46 plus 2 practice squad elevations for game day dresses. 48 guys get to wear a jersey and a helmet on game day. What is Xavier Restrepo's role going to be? Because currently he is the, at best, 6th receiver employed by the Titans. At best.
Yes.
With the current injuries. So what's he going to do?
Yeah, I'm not sure. And that's kind of to my point. It's like you either do it and you give him snaps, because that creates a whole nother conversation. Like if he finally gets elevated and has no snaps, the conversation blows up even more. Like at this point, I'm kind of with the fans. Just throw him out there and let's finally get our answer so I can be done with this conversation. Because like I said, I don't think that he is able to play up to this NFL caliber defensive level against these opponents. I just don't think he is. And it's really, it's not that he's like a terrible receiver. It's just that these defenses,
he's not the athlete.
He's not the athlete that they need out there. Certainly with how this offense is running right now as well, and how Cam Ward is seeing the field and how he has little to no time in the pocket. I don't think you're not going to see a lot of design plays if he does get out there that are going to work. Maybe the stuff on the fly that Cam Ward makes, maybe those connect better with Xavier Restrepo. But once again, that is so few and far in between. That is 2 plays a game on the offense that potentially happens. And so I just don't. I think it's a bad matchup this week for him. I think it's, I think it also, like you said, still is going to take a Chimere Dike or an Alec Ayumanor not playing for him to even get a look at getting elevated.
Yeah. Esko says, I think X would be good against zone defenses. I think here's the problem. What did Restrepo do in preseason? What was his production?
Are you asking me his numbers or just
I'm not. The answer is very, 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 very little, right?
He caught 3 passes from Tim Boyle in garbage time.
Yeah.
Of the Buccaneers game.
Mason Kinsey had plays that he made in his UDFA rookie preseason.
Yes. Mason Kinsey also
he didn't do any Restrepo
preseason.
Yeah, Restrepo didn't do anything. So like Esco's like, I don't think you can do good in zone. He didn't do anything against zone defenses in the preseason against guys who are also not playing on Sunday.
Yeah.
Malachi, Bryce Oliver dominated the preseason. They didn't want to give him a chance last year. This year, Bryce Oliver unfortunately got hurt in week 2 on a special teams tackle, and we haven't seen him since. And now he's on injured reserve out for the year, which is a big time bummer because Bryce Oliver would be desperately needed right now and would probably be productive. But Bryce Oliver was a dude in the preseason the last 2 years and has barely done anything. Xavier Restrepo did not do anything against guys also not playing NFL football. What makes you think he can do something against guys playing NFL football in the month of November and December? I have no confidence in that.
Yeah, I'm there with you on that one. But we'll see. I guess it'll be very interesting to follow how this plays out in practice this week. And I'm sure people will talk to him today in the locker room. So
can you talk to practice squad players?
Why not?
I don't know. I don't remember.
He's not hurt.
You're right. He's not. I don't remember.
I don't see why not.
Okay, and here's the other stupid thing too. Easy money. Nobody wanted Drew Bennett either. Drew Bennett was a college quarterback, went undrafted, and turned into a receiver. Nobody drafted Drew Bennett because he was a college quarterback. Like, come on. Like, you're making stuff up to make yourself correct, but you're wrong because you're making it up.
That's where we are right now.
Like, if you're gonna say stuff, like, remember correctly. You can just spew stuff to make your point.
That's what. Listen, I don't know about you, but I've been seeing that a lot recently as well. I mean, there are people. I was very critical of Cam Ward's performance on Sunday. You may have seen this. I was very critical of that. I don't think he had a very good game until this week, or until he didn't have a good game until he had that one drive in the fourth quarter. And now people are in my mentions all the time telling me that I am out on Cam Ward forever. I hate the guy. He sucks. And then I say, that is not what I said. And then they say, okay, well, at least you said this. And it's not part of it. It's not the point. So much stuff, making up so much stuff on the internet to try to make your point when you're just not making the point. Crazy. That's why if the Titans could just win games, I feel like everything would be a lot better, but it's not. I don't know.
He's very frustrated.
I'm always critical of Cam.
Because he's the quarterback. He's not playing very well. Okay.
He's not playing good. So.
No. Do we want to do trivia so we can all here? This is why I like trivia, is because we all get pissed at each other during these things, and then we can all be back on the same team, right? Yeah. We're going to be on the same team. We've got 9 trivia questions, and we're going to do this well because trivia is coming up, and I'm excited about it. You know what else I'm excited about? A week from today, Windows are in, baby. Windows are coming in on Tuesday. I don't have to say next Tuesday. I don't have to say this month. I can just say Tuesday because that's the next Tuesday we've got. My windows are being installed from Window Nation. Right now they have a great deal going on through November, 50% off all Windows styles, and you could get 0% financing for up to 5 years, which is a crazy deal. I got a crazy deal back in September with buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free. There's a lot of different ways you can get your financing situation settled. It's really easy to do, and you can save thousands of dollars for your windows, and they're going to improve the quality of your home. They're going to save you money on your bills. They're going to improve the value of your home as well. Window Nation makes it so easy and comfortable. We've had multiple people, 3 people in our home from Window Nation already for measurements, for the estimate, for all these things. They've been nothing but pleasant, good people, easy conversations, just like they come over to hang out. And also, hey, by the way, we're putting up some new windows next week. So pumped about this process. WindowNation.com for a free estimate. You can just have them over, have them scope everything out, and you don't have to owe anything. It's a free estimate, no sweat, no pressure right there. WindowNation.com is where to go.
Yeah, also shout out real quick to our friends, BTA Sports. Once again, use that code ATOZSports when you download the app to get a 14-day free trial, $79.99 for the season pass. Got a lot of, I'm interested to dive into these numbers. I don't even know who Thursday Night Football is tomorrow. Do you know? No idea, but nope. I'm sure it's a good one. We'll be looking at BTA for that for sure. And so you should as well, where insight meets instinct, BTA Sports.
Wilson County Hyundai, you guys know the drill. WilsonCountyHyundai.com is where to go to make them a part of your new car buying process. In Lebanon, WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Okay, JT, let's see if I can share my screen in a smooth fashion. And here we go. Time for some trivia. Did it work? Maybe.
That's pretty good.
Not bad? Okay. Not bad. Board. We got Major League Baseball and hockey. That's not a good way to use your sports categories for me.
Well, maybe for me.
Maybe for you. Yeah. So. Good thing Easton's not on the show today, because that would not be a good match for me and him paired for Major League Baseball and hockey. Okay, we'll start around at NFL. We go around the world here. I don't see Ann. Uh-oh.
I don't either. We're might be screwed there, but oh well.
She might be having to retake her nursing exam. All right, here we go. NFL, let's do it. 2013, this AFC West running back led the NFL in rushing touchdowns, had a single game where he had 4 receiving touchdowns. Oh.
Is that Jamal Charles? Maybe? Because I know he had a 5 touchdown game, and maybe 4 of them were receiving.
I think you're right. Yeah, the chat's on Jamal Charles. Okay, there we go. Geography: Paul Bunyan Land Amusement Park and Campground is a popular attraction located in this central time zone U.S. state.
Paul Bunyan Land Amusement Park and Campground? Never heard of it. So it's not in Tennessee.
Sounds fun, to be honest.
Kind of, yeah. I'm going to go...
Central time, so...
Where's Paul Bunyan from?
Paul Bunyan is a...
No, like where did it originate?
Okay,
Montana? Minnesota?
Who is commenting as the A to Z Facebook page?
I don't know.
But Minnesota is being... Oh, Ant's here. Thank God.
Ant's here now. Cool.
All right, Minnesota's correct. I just want to know who's commenting as the A to Z Facebook page.
From the A to Z Facebook page.
All right, television. David Chase is primarily known for being a creator and showrunner for this iconic show that debuted in '99. I don't know.
I don't know who David Chase is, unfortunately.
So. Primary show that debuted.
Sopranos. That's what she said.
All right, there we go. Right. Movies. After receiving a Best Actor Oscar nomination for The Wrestler, this actor played villain Ivan Vanko, aka Whiplash, in Iron Man 2. I have no idea.
I don't remember.
Mickey Rourke. Yep. People are all over that one. Music. Oh, I love it when you do it like that. Oh, I was about to go genie on that. Ed Sheeran, 2021.
What the?
I love it when you do it like that. And when you're close up, give me the...
I see. I hear it like Shakira.
Yeah, I was going slow motion.
Shivers.
All right. Beverages from New Belgium Brewing. This brand markets itself as carbon neutral, uses a white and blue color scheme for its packaging. Figures. Oh, this is oh crap. Bicycle beer.
Oh, it's not. I know what it is. I know. I'm with you.
I'm not Blue Moon.
It's flat tire.
Flat tire. Yes. Golly, that was driving me crazy.
Because I thought it was
Fat tire.
fat tire. Sorry.
Yeah. NHL. All right. Well, Terry Philippe, Pula, sure. Tyler Johnson.
This is my favorite team, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, there we go. We needed a softball. MLB. Hideo Nomo, most known as a Dodger, led the AL in strikeouts with this AL East team in 01.
Yeah, I got nothing there for you, boss.
2000.
I know him as a Dodger. I think he was a Royal as well.
AL East.
Oh, AL East.
Red Sox, says Ann.
Right. Okay, there we go, Ann.
Okay, celebrity mashup. Oh my.
The middle, isn't she from SNL?
I think that's also Martin Short.
Yeah, that's.
You think so too?
I think so.
I want some confirmation here.
Martin Short and
Kristen
Stewart.
Boom.
Ah,
433.
right over.
That's a typing situation there. Well.
Oh well. Hey.
That wasn't the hardest board.
No, but the hardest one was a layup for me.
Yeah, you're lightning, and then
wearing a shirt for
celebrity
them right
mashup.
now, so
nice.
There you go.
All right. Orlando.
All right.
We missed it by 3 seconds.
He says type faster.
Yeah, that's my fault.
So,
all right, guys, that is it for us. Make sure you hit that like button, like the show before you go, and Buck Rising live for prime time tonight. Live tomorrow again on a Thursday morning. Catch you then. Appreciate it as always.